San Francisco, dubbed a long time ago Baghdad by the Bay by Herb Caen, is a truly first-class romantic city. There's only a handful of true classic five-star hotels in San Francisco, among them the Ritz-Carlton, the Four Seasons, the St. Regis, and the Mandarin Oriental in the heart of the financial district. Surprisingly, that's where we honeymooned. Come along and join us at the Mandarin Oriental in the heart of the financial district as we visit with Clifford Atkinson, the general manager, as he shares some of his insights into great things to do and see in the city by the bay, as well as some of the allures of the Mandarin as a great romantic getaway. This is your host, Tom Wilmer, reporting from San Francisco. We're at the Mandarin Oriental in the heart of the financial district, and we're here with Cliff Atkinson, the general manager. Hi, Cliff.
Hi, how are you, Tom?
I need to start this out by confessing to a slight bias. You actually remember I honeymooned here in 1999, so this hotel remains, whether I like it or not, a part of my life experience.
I love to hear that, and that is our mantra of being part of people's lives and their own personal history, as you did with your honeymoon here.
The funny thing about the Mandarin Oriental is I've told people about this property, and they say, well, where is it? I go, well, it's right in the heart of the financial district. And they go, were you with a corporate group or whatever, And I said, no, this was a romantic getaway, a weekend getaway. And you got to tell them, do the math. Yes, business people are here all week long, but they're gone on the weekend. So the Mandarin, like a few other properties, the Claremont in Berkeley, they have to reinvent themselves and retool themselves in the weekend.
Our location, I think, is actually prime for San Francisco. First of all, we're the third tallest building in San Francisco, and all of our hotel rooms are on the top 11 floors. So you can pretty much go sightseeing, Tom, without leaving your room, which is fantastic. San Francisco, as you know, is a very, very small city, and we are so centrally located. We have the cable cars not even half a block away. We're a 2-block walk to the farmers market down at the Ferry Building, and we have fantastic San Francisco dining right outside our front door. Tyler Florence's new restaurant, Wayfair Tavern, Michael Mina, Per Bacco, Bar Bacco, all within a stumble of our front door. And you can be in Chinatown in 3 blocks, and you can have coffee in North Beach in another 3 blocks. So we really think our location suits the leisure traveler as much as the business traveler.
I like to say that I literally, if I check my car in, it stays. And I have walked everywhere and anywhere I wanted to in the city of San Francisco from here. It's interesting, isn't it? It's kind of like a center of the spider web.
It really is. And also being here, you can walk everywhere and there's no significant hills. Again, we have the cable cars right outside the front door of the hotel.
And I want to get back to the height of your hotel, because it doesn't even start until, the 12th floor or 13th floor or something like that? Or there is no 13th.
That's right. Actually, it starts, our lowest guest room floor is the 38th floor.
Oh, okay.
So the guest rooms go from 38 to 48. And again, there's nothing taller than our hotel except for the Transamerica Pyramid, which you have a lovely view from our rooms, and the B of A building next door, but we're the third tallest.
Well, that's where I was going to, because correct me if I'm wrong, maybe it was an optical illusion, but I swear I was looking down on the top of the mark on the top of Nob Hill.
That's right.
Is that true?
It is. With the height of our building, our hotel guest rooms are the highest in the city.
Mm-hmm. So that's pretty cool itself. Is this ever used as a wedding venue or more of a honeymoon venue?
It is. It's used more for honeymoons and smaller weddings. We have banquet facilities up to 120 people for sit down. But what's really unique, we get the smaller weddings and we have the ceremonies up in the sky as well. On our 40th floor, we have a sky terrace that can be used for private events, such as weddings or corporate events or social birthday parties, all of that. So you're outside with this amazing view of the Golden Gate Bridge, Alcatraz, the Pyramid, and the entire San Francisco Bay.
From here down to the Embarcadero and the Ferry Building, that too is a destination in itself, and literally, 5 or 6 blocks away?
Exactly. It's about a 5-minute walk down to the Ferry Building. So for farmer markets on Thursdays and Saturdays, to all the restaurants and dining there, the rebirth of the Ferry Building has been very exciting for our hotel, given our proximity to that location.
Didn't they do a great job?
Fantastic. It is becoming such a foodie, a first-time San Francisco visitor, or a 25th time visitor destination for them to go.
Mm-hmm.
And do you have people that take advantage of the ferries that you can go out to Angel Island or Tiburon and beyond?
Absolutely. Sausalito or the East Bay or just a bay tour and come right back. That rebirth is central to our leisure guest destination.
I can't think of a more walkable city than San Francisco. Am I wrong or?
No, it's true. When you think of financial district in New York and you think of Wall Street so far from Midtown, and here that's just not the case. Again, I meet hotel guests 3 blocks away and we're in North Beach having coffee, or for dim sum at lunch 3 blocks away and we're having dim sum in Chinatown.
And cable car, that's what, a couple blocks away?
Literally half a block away. The California line runs right by the hotel, and so you don't even have to cross the street to get onto the cable cars from our hotel to get then anywhere in the city, Fisherman's Wharf or up to Powell Street.
Briefly, cable car, how much does it cost? Is there a day pass that you buy, or what does it cost to ride the cable car?
The current Muni fare is $2 for adults, but you can get day passes as well at the different stations. But the secret is here, not a lot of tourists are on the California line, so you can get right on with a lot of the city residents.
And that terminates down at the Hyatt? Is that where it turns around?
Correct. Right in front of the Hyatt Regency is where it turns around, which is about 3 blocks away from us.
AT&T Park. That's a new destination in itself, isn't it? And you probably get sports people that might even come up and walk over to AT&T?
It is. We had some visitors this past fall during the World Series, which of course the San Francisco Giants were in and won. And I've walked to AT&T Park from this hotel myself. It's a little bit more of a walk than some of the other destinations we've spoken about, 15 to 20 minutes, and on a beautiful summer fall day, it's a fantastic experience.
This is a property that it's not a clean, well-lighted place, as somebody said. This is a place where you're going to pay a premium to stay here for a special occasion. For the FIT, the Free and Independent Traveler, do you have weekend packages or any special romantic getaway packages that they could see or look at?
We do. We have 2 in particular. One that I think would be an interest to your listeners, being that we have a special rate for California residents. All you need is a California ID, and you can drive up to San Francisco, and we have a package that includes your parking, which is a value in downtown San Francisco, as most people know. And then we also have another package year-round known as our Luxury Breaks package, which also includes a $50 credit at any of our dining establishments, Silks or Mobar, or also through room service in our in-room dining program.
Let's talk a little bit about your food and beverage. You might not recall what I said about Silks, but in a magazine article once I said, let me put it this way. It's the only restaurant I can remember being in where I was asking the waiter for a doggy bag for the bread.
That's very nice to hear, and I do remember that comment. But our food and beverage is very exciting, starting with Silks, which is now open Tuesdays through Saturdays and has Sunday brunch now as well. California dining, California experience. We have a fantastic chef, Rick Bartram, who came from our hotel in Bermuda, actually, and has worked all over Asia. So he's marrying the Asian flavors and spices with our local California bounty of fish, fresh seafood, and of course our produce here. And the second outlet we have is known as Mobar, and we do everything from small bites to burgers, salads, and also our own sushi bar Monday through Friday during happy hour from 4 to 8 p.m. We're the only hotel that we know of right now offering 7-day-a-week full afternoon tea, which is a unique nuance to San Francisco that we do that every single day of the week.
Kind of a high tea?
High tea, correct.
And what sort of accolades has Silks received?
The most recent awards that we're very proud of, we're one of 8 Forbes 4-star restaurants with Silks. We're very proud of that award, along with Quince and Masa and a few of the other well-known restaurants. So we also are in the top cuisine category in the latest Zagat survey, as well as the Wine Spectator Award. And wine is very important to who we are, but we received the prestigious 2 Goblet Award from Wine Spectator as well. So those are just some of the recent awards in the last 6 months that the restaurant Silks has achieved.
So the momentum continues.
It does, it does. And just because we've been around for, 23 years now, going into our 24th, we opened in 1987. We continue to reinvent and to reinvest within the hotel as well, and never rest on our laurels.
Back to Silks for a moment. Since it is such an iconic restaurant, of your demographics, would a majority of your diners be San Franciscans or people from around town as much as in-house guests?
It's a pretty healthy mix. Now, most visitors, obviously San Francisco and the food town that it is, they'll dine with us once and then want to hit the more notable restaurants. being Michael Mina, Slanted Door, restaurants of those caliber. And obviously for breakfast and lunch, we're both hotel guests as well as the local power breakfast, power lunch spot, given our location in the financial district during the week. So we benefit both, and I would say it's about 50-50 right now.
So it continues no matter what.
That's right, exactly.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit.
Good.
Let's say, you like that. Let's say I'm coming up from Santa Barbara with my wife. Give us your itinerary. Again, free and independent travelers. What should we do? What would you recommend that we do and see here?
Sure, just San Francisco or along the way?
Or getting on the ferry too.
Yeah, exactly. You could do so much in San Francisco, even if you had a week here. But I think it's starting with the key activities, kind of like when you go to New York for the first time. So I think the first thing you need to do is, one, book our California resident rate, so you can drive right to the hotel, valet, get settled, have a little bit of welcome tea, and go right up to your room in the sky. And that's where you can really begin your sightseeing experience with all the access to views that we have. Then I think it's a walking tour for sure. And if you're the shopper, you're going to go right to Union Square, which is a fairly brief walk with under 10 minutes, or right down to the ferry building. Look at the fresh produce, have a cappuccino by the bay, experience all of the new restaurants, or the local food stands, the Korean tacos, for example, that are for sale right on the street there. So I think it's one of those two destinations that everybody must start with.
Tell us a little bit about the farmers market. I was driving by there the other day, and wow, it was like an annual fair. But this is what, twice a week?
It is. It's twice a week on Thursdays and Saturdays. So both during the week for that business traveler for something different, or if they're here for a convention, something different to see. And again, for the leisure traveler driving up from Santa Barbara, you can experience that all day on Saturday. And people come from all over the state, not just Northern California, with fresh produce, taco trucks, burrito trucks, sushi, every cuisine that you can imagine, Thai, Middle Eastern. It's really quite the destination, and if you've never seen it, it's something you must see once while you're here visiting.
It really is a destination in itself.
It is. And again, our proximity to it has really helped this whole destination in what the financial district or close to the ferry building might historically had been known as in the 70s and 80s as only being a financial district has completely changed in the last 10 years.
Cliff, we're just about out of time, but I want to go to the intangible for a moment. And again, part of my memory of my life, the very first moment, the very first time that I arrived at the Mandarin Oriental, I fell in love with the place before we got in the front door, because your car guy, your valet, was so cool. My wife and I wound up talking to him for 10 minutes out there, and we couldn't pull ourselves away. Got to the front desk, same thing. And it's the human element here works, and you guys obviously get it, how important that is to groom and search for people, because to a point you can't teach that. Either you have that element as a human or you don't.
You bring up a good point. That's exactly what we look for in our hiring process. But your example of the interaction with our doorman and our valet is very symbolic of who we are as a hotel. This hotel has two things going for it that stand out above the rest, and that one is the views, which can't be duplicated, and the second that I feel is our people. Again, we've been open for 23 years. We have some staff that have been with us since the opening, which a lot of our guests know by first name, and I believe that's the reason they stay with us, not just the views or the luxury experience, it's the people. And then we have new staff, people who joined us as recently as a week ago, who are well indoctrinated to the Mandarin Oriental culture, the service, the never saying no, and the fact that we know our guests are the only reason that we're all here, and we live and breathe that every day. And so really, guests are the king when they're here, and there's no higher priority for us than our guests.
Awesome. Cliff, I wish we could go on. This has been great, and I know you have more secret, best-kept picks of San Francisco that we'd be willing to share, but we're out of time.
Yes, so please come to San Francisco. Happy to sit down with anyone and tell them my real secret best picks. And good to see you as always, Tom.
Awesome. We've been speaking with Clifford Atkinson, the general manager at the Mandarin Oriental in the financial district of San Francisco, California. I'm your host, Tom Willimer, reporting for National Public Radio affiliates, KCBX serving San Luis Obispo, KSBX serving Santa Barbara, and KNBX serving southern Monterey County.
For further information about the Mandarin Oriental Hotel, log on to www.mandarinoriental.com/San Francisco. I'm your host, Tom Wilmer reporting for the award-winning Audiolog, the travel show, airing over these NPR affiliates for the past 21 years. If you'd like to listen to this show on the web as an MP3 podcast or more than 100 other archived travel shows, log on to www.kcbx.org. At the homepage, click on Program Archives, and then click on Audiolog, the travel show.